It was a lazy afternoon in the small town of Willow Creek. A soft breeze fluttered through the open window of a cozy little house. Inside, 6-year-old S.J. sat on the living room rug, his teddy bear Teddy beside him. Teddy never talked, but somehow S.J. always knew what he was thinking. That day, something exciting happened. S.J.? Mom called from the hallway. A package just arrived for you. S.J. ran to the door and gasped. There on the floor was a big cardboard box with a label that said, "For Master Builders Only," in red letters. He ripped it open with excited hands. Inside, a sparkling, colorful box of wooden blocks, all shapes and sizes. There were red cubes, blue rectangles, green arches, yellow triangles, and even blocks shaped like wheels and windows. "This is awesome," S.J. said, eyes wide. He looked at Teddy. "You thinking what I'm thinking?" Teddy, of course, was. S.J. reached into the box and grabbed a handful of blocks. Whoosh! A golden swirl of sawdust spun up from the box like a mini tornado. The air shimmered. The floor shook. And suddenly, S.J. and Teddy were not in the living room anymore. They were standing in the middle of a sunny island made entirely of giant wooden blocks. Towering red cubes made cliffs. Green arches made bridges. Yellow triangles stood like mountains in the distance. S.J. gasped. "We're on Block Island!" Teddy tugged gently at his arm and pointed. There, beside a stack of wheels and planks, were two bright orange hard hats, a blueprint scroll, and a shiny red crane with an open seat. S.J. slipped on a hard hat, placed the other on Teddy's fuzzy head, and smiled. "Let's build something amazing!" S.J. hopped into the crane's seat and grabbed the levers. Teddy sat next to him, holding the blueprint with his stubby paws. The blueprint showed something incredible. A block castle fortress with a drawbridge, a tower with a slide, and a secret door. "Let's get to work, First Engineer Teddy," S.J. shouted. With a whir and a clank, the crane lifted a giant blue rectangle and dropped it into place. S.J. and Teddy zipped around in forklifts, pushing and placing blocks like pros. They built tall towers, window rooms, and secret tunnels using wheels as trapdoors. Teddy directed with his paws, pointing to where the next piece should go. S.J. climbed ladders made of pegs and slid down beams, giggling. "Time for the slide!" S.J. shouted. They built a swirling spiral slide out of smooth, curved blocks and shiny rails. S.J. went down first. Whee! Followed by Teddy, who spun like a fuzzy cannonball. Soon, the castle fortress stood tall and proud in the middle of Block Island. It had towers, balconies, and a catapult at the top. "We did it!" S.J. cheered. But then, the ground rumbled. Boom! The sky grew dark. Wooden birds flew away. A deep rumbling sound echoed across the island. "What's happening?" S.J. asked. Just then, out of the forest of square trees came a stomping, wobbling creature. It was made of blocks, too. It looked like a blockosaurus, a giant dinosaur made of wooden bricks. S.J. grabbed Teddy. "We have to protect the fortress." S.J. and Teddy ran into the castle. They closed the door and ran to the top. There they found small blocks and a catapult. "Let's go!" S.J. shouted as he and Teddy jumped into action. Teddy grabbed the small blocks as S.J. turned the wheel on the catapult. The blockosaurus roared as he grabbed a small block and threw it at the castle. S.J. and Teddy fired back. They had a block battle, jumping, dodging, and flinging cubes at each other. Finally, Teddy aimed the catapult, that was made from jump rope and broom handle, and filled it with rope. S.J. shot the catapult at the blockosaurus. The rope wound around his legs and tied the blockosaurus's feet together. Crash! The creature gently tumbled to the ground. It wasn't a bad guy. It just wanted to play, S.J. realized. S.J. and Teddy untied his feet. S.J., Teddy, and the now friendly blockosaurus all climbed to the top of the block mountain and looked out at the island. "This place is awesome," S.J. said, lying back on a soft wooden mattress. Teddy leaned against him, quiet and proud. Just then, the golden sawdust swirled again. "Time to go," S.J. whispered. Back in the living room, S.J. blinked. The sun was lower in the sky. His wooden blocks were scattered around him, and Teddy was sitting right beside him, still wearing his little orange hard hat. Mom walked in with cookies. You two look like you've been working hard, SJ smiled. We built a castle and battled a Blockosaurus. Mom chuckled and kissed his head. Well, Master Builder, I hope you saved me a room in your castle. SJ nodded. Teddy did. And as the sun dipped low and the stars blinked on outside, SJ and Teddy dreamed of their next big adventure. Because every child holds a story, and every story needs a builder.